everybody. Welcome back to Chit Chat with Copelyn and Daddy. I'm Copelyn.
And I'm Daddy.
And this week we have a special guest with us. It's my teacher, my second grade teacher. Woo!
So how are we going to do this interview today?
So we're going to click over to Zoom and we're going to let her join us on the video.
Okay, so stick with us. So Copelyn, can you introduce us to our guest today?
So this is my second grade teacher. Her name is Miss Kasinger.
Hi, Miss Kasinger. How are you?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Good. Thank you so much for joining us. So
Yes, thank you.
Copelyn wanted to learn a little bit more about you and has some questions to ask you.
Yes. So when you were young, what did you want to be?
I actually wanted to be a teacher when I was young. I played school all the time when I was your age with my baby dolls.
What?
So you always wanted to be a teacher. When I was a kid, I wanted to be a fireman, and then as I got older, I wanted to be different things, but you always wanted to be a teacher?
I wanted to be a teacher. I went to school first for nursing, though, because I have lots of nurses in my family, and I actually like the hospital scene, too. But then I felt like it was better for me to be a teacher, so I changed my degree and went through with teaching.
So how long did you go to school to be a nurse? When did you change your major?
So I changed it my sophomore year. So I went to school for 5 years instead of the normal 4. So just 1 year in, decided that the science classes were too hard.
Why did you pick to be a teacher?
I love working with children. I love reading and getting to do all those fun things like math problems. I've always been babysitting and working with kids since I was little. And so it's just kind of been my nature. And I've always been kind of encouraged to be a leader in the school system. So,
How long did you go to school to be a teacher?
I went for 4 years at Western Kentucky University. You know where that is?
No.
Bowling Green, Kentucky.
Bowling Green, Kentucky. Hilltoppers.
Okay.
So you went for 4 years, and your degree is in elementary education?
Yes, K through 6.
So she can teach kindergartners all the way up to 6th graders.
I know. I don't know if I could do it, though. I like the little ones.
So how long have you been a teacher here in Metro?
So for Metro, I've been in school. This is my 4th year. So I did an interim at Harpeth Valley, which is in Bellevue, and worked with Miss Kajahara there. And then I came to Granbury and did kindergarten, and then moved up to 2nd grade. So this is my 2nd year in 2nd grade.
Okay.
So what subject do you like to teach the most?
Probably reading. I like my spelling and reading stories. Definitely reading.
Definitely reading. What is your least favorite subject to teach?
Math. I'm a weakness in math. Not my strong suit.
Okay, so not your strong suit. So
What has teaching virtual school been like for you?
Oh my goodness. It's been bittersweet. I obviously, I'm glad I get to see everybody each day, and I get to hear songs from you, and I get to see what it's like in your comfort zone of your home or your pods, and just kind of getting you to bond over, virtually. You're not here in person, but you guys are still building relationships, and I'm getting to learn about you. But it also makes me really sad that I don't get to be here in person with you, and getting for you guys to experience that full classroom experience.
Yeah.
that's been the difficult part. But I will say, as a parent, it has been interesting to see her bond with other students in her class. And she's short of that one playtime, they haven't had any interaction together. So
Yes.
kids that she is gravitating towards, that they have commonality, and it's easy for them to pick up on that.
And you're in a different situation because you weren't even at this school before. So these are all brand new friends to you. So you didn't know anyone, whereas a lot of them had classes before with them. And the fact that you're able to do that virtually is pretty impressive.
Thank you.
So a question I had for you is, what do you try to tell your 2nd graders when they're trying to come up with what they want to be when they grow up? I know that changes a lot, but how do you guide them towards that path?
You got to kind of go with what's your heart saying. That was mine. I knew that I had always wanted to be a teacher, but kind of went in the direction of what my family was encouraging, what I saw peers around me were doing nurse-wise and doctor, and also nurses do get paid a little bit more than teachers, and that was in my mind. You got to be able to support your family. But at the same time, I knew that my heart and I would not be fully happy as if I wasn't a teacher. So you got to do what makes you happy. And that's the most important thing, more than money and all those other things.
We totally understand that.
Yes.
Teaching is definitely a calling, because
Yes.
you said it is not something that you get paid that well for. It's not something that is easy, especially, I will say I feel for a lot of teachers right now that you guys are going through this virtually, because like you said, when you chose to become a teacher, one of the reasons was because of be able to have interactions with kids. And the interactions look very, very different right now.
Right.
And it's very, very difficult for a teacher that is so used to, especially for young kids. Like we got kindergartner and second graders, like you guys are so used to being able to interact with them in a classroom. And when you can tell that the crowd of 18 of them or however it is struggling or they need a break, you guys can shift on the fly in a classroom setting, and you don't have that benefit because everything is so structured virtually.
It's hard, but I like how you say calling, because it's one of those things, that I try to encourage people. I fully believe that God puts you in a place and a purpose and for a reason, and that's been my calling. And knowing I leave every day with wonderful love and support from parents and from my family, then that tells me that I'm in the right place.
Yeah, that's something that we have definitely been blessed with, that we each have teachers, the 3 teachers that our kids have really see it as a calling. This isn't a job for them. They go above and beyond to want to make sure that us as parents feel supported, but really that you guys are supporting our kids.
Absolutely.
You're doing an amazing job supporting Copelyn.
Yeah, she makes it easy.
Thank you. What do you do when you're not teaching?
Oh, that's so hard. Well, right now mommy life is a big thing. Since I have a 4.5-year-old, and she's very busy and she's very social, so she loves to be out doing things. And then I have a 5-month-old, so we're trying to balance that having two, but I also like to do outdoors things, so hiking. We have a lake house at Tim's Ford that we were talking about earlier, so we go boating all the time. I like to just hang out as a family. Sundays are our days of watching sports, football, and hanging out. So I can be very relaxed. I love just hanging out with family and friends. So getting to come to your games, watching all of the games. I'm learning so much about softball and baseball right now.
Well, we really appreciate you coming and supporting her and stuff like that. So each week when we do Chit Chat, what do we end our session with, Copelyn?
So we end with a book.
We do a book of the week that Copelyn has picked, and she tells us why.
Okay.
What's your book this week?
So this book this week is Magic Treehouse Pirates Past Noon.
Magic Treehouse Pirates Past Noon. Now, why do you pick this book, Copelyn?
I picked it because we've read all of it, and it is amazing. Jack and Annie discover so much about the times of where the
Pirates
people have
there.
been, and pirates.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Well, what else do you want to share with our friends today? And thank Miss Kasinger for joining us.
thank you, Miss Kasinger, for joining us this week, and peace out.
Peace out. Bye, y'all.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You guys, that was so much fun.
Bye.